Oh, good morning, good people. Man, God is good all the time, all the time. God is good. Decided to go live this morning. I don't usually be going live like that. I think I've only went live a couple of times, but TikTok is like, hey man, you want to start going live, but we gonna take your live away from you. But then I was like, you know what? Let me go live. And since I'm not cooking, I'm up early this morning and I'm gonna go ahead and give like a little garden tour. If I can flip this thing around, there we go. So these are my papaya plants right here. I'm also working on a pineapple. I grew it from the crown, the stems that came up, and then what I was told that you just water it from the crown right here. This right here is my jackfruit tree. I don't know what's going on with it. It was like this small, now it's growing tall. It'll grow leaves and stems and all of a sudden die out. So we gotta see how the jackfruit is gonna grow. And I know that jackfruit is a tropical plant, so that's why I kind of have it in the shade. But this Texas heat is a monster. I'm gonna have to like put it in the corner somewhere where it's like really shaded. Here are my grapes. Grapes take forever to grow. I literally been having these grapes since what, beginning of the year. And then I started this grapevine, I think it was around December. And it literally started from this stem right here. The leaves had died off, and next thing you know, after I thought I was gonna give up on it, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I need to go ahead and water this because the sun is out this morning. Here are my onions. Also, here's my big sunflower. I started that one from seed. And it's grown. It's been about maybe a month and a half, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit over. And this right here is my peach tree. It literally started right here, and now it has bloomed up a lot. Here's my apple tree. And I seen that it started, adding some like little blooms on there, but then they start going away. And then I seen a little squirrel up there in that tree earlier, and I seen that they be coming down there and taking my stuff. Boy, these animals are savage. But this right here is my lemons tree. I say lemons, but it look like it's limes growing on her. But either way, we're gonna use this citrus right here to do some juicing once all of this grow in. So it look like I have a few things that's growing on the lemon tree. Now here are my stubborn blueberry bushes. I've been had the blueberry bushes for almost a year now, and it's like they will grow some, the next thing you know they just fall off. I might have to go ahead and put those inside the greenhouse. Now over here is my butternut squash. Now I took it out of the greenhouse because it was infested by the spider mites, and that really messed. I was like, I don't want any of my other plants getting infested, so I had to pull them out, trim some stuff, and I still see a little stuff on here. And I was hoping that a dragonfly come through her and eat up all of the stuff. The cool thing about garden, and another thing about like how God created stuff, man, it's amazing that like I didn't know that ladybugs eat little bugs. We just look at the ladybugs like, oh, that's a little cute ladybug. Man, them things are predators. They would tear up the little small bugs and everything. So I've learned that if you have aphids, if you have fungus, and that's just release some ladybugs in there, and guess what, they gonna go ahead and eat, just like dragonflies will go in there and eat all the little mosquitoes and flies and all that stuff. So now let's do a little tour of the greenhouse. It took me forever to really just put this together because I was looking at so many ideas on YouTube and everything, and I just decided I was just gonna modify a Amazon type of greenhouse. This is a 20 foot long, 10 foot wide, and when I realized that, okay, I need to make this like a little bit more stable, that's when I started seeing people add like wood and everything that is heavy to make this greenhouse a little heavy. And I added this screen door. Like today, the sun is beaming, so at least give it some fresh air, but also keep them pesky squirrels up out of here. So now it's time to give a little garden tour and also water everything. Come on. So I got my pickled cucumbers right here. What is? So I got the pickled cucumbers right here. Go ahead and give that a little watering. Cause one thing, the one thing that I realized I messed up last year is I was over watering. So I was told by this person that like when it's like this, as far as the temperature, at least do like a good heavy soak in the morning and let it absorb, but also just kind of like test out the soil, because sometimes it might not need more watering. Like with this mulch and stuff in here, it also helps retain the moisture. So you see these right here are my sun gold tomatoes. These are my contender beans, and I think this right here is my honeydew melons, because you see it's already growing up the cattle panel, aka the trellis. This right here is my eggplant. Now in this greenhouse it does get a little toasty in here, so I definitely gotta at least give it a good soaking so the humidity can soak up everything. But the only downfall to that is sometimes, well, I ain't gonna say sometimes, a lot of times it will draw in fungus gnats. So the fungus gnats, I've heard that they're harmless and everything, but I don't like it. I be wanting to come in here and just chill and meditate and pray and everything, and I got fungus gnats flying in my face. So later on I'm gonna go ahead and hook up an automatic watering system where it just drips. This right here are my red okra. Now I see that this powdery meal, you know, there's little stuff on the leaves, so I'm gonna have to put some fertilizer on it later. I'm gonna go ahead and get to that, so I don't have nothing going on with the plants. Because sometimes growing stuff can be a little stressful. This right here is my cabbage. I've been trying to keep these things going. You see that them fungus gnats, they love being around the cabbage. But I have been consistently trimming the leaves and making sure it's going. It looked like it might be close to being harvested. It looked like it might be close. Then this right here is my carrots. Carrots do take a while to grow, so I'm just giving those a little spritz. And these are my bell peppers. See, yeah, I gotta come back in here later and do some fertilizing, because a lot of the leaves ain't looking too good. When it comes to gardening, and that's just like any lesson in life, you have to be consistent with it. Once you're consistent with stuff, once you get the blueprint down, guess what's going to happen? You'll be able to get good at what you're trying to do. But you have to be consistent. It's just like with gardening in life. If you're consistent at something, you will also be rewarded at it. You also get good at it. So when it comes to, like, you see the cooking and everything, nobody really starts out just a master chef. Nobody starts out as a master gardener. Nobody starts out as an NBA, NFL, any of that stuff. You have to get good at it, and you have to be consistent. So consistency is key. So that right there is my turmeric. Here are my jalapeno peppers. They're growing pretty big. Go ahead and give those a little soak. Oh yeah, and because of this Texas heat, I guess what I had to do, I had to get one of these little air conditioners, and I also have exhaust fans on each end, and I also added a little shade cloth in here in order, you know, to keep it a little cool, because even though it's like what 10 something in the morning, that sun is beaming. Here are my cherry tomatoes. They look like one of them is already ready to be harvested. Go ahead and get that little water. And once I hook up the automatic watering system, which that's a task in itself, I better just allow it to start dripping early in the morning where I don't have to come out here and hand water everything, because you see how long that's taking, especially with me having the Garden of Eden back here with a lot of stuff. And then there are people that have raised beds, and so I can understand taking the time to water. But sometimes when you're watering things, it's relaxing, especially when you're out in nature. Speaking of that, look at these cayenne peppers. There's a lot of them. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull these, and you might see this in my next cooking video. Yo, today I decided I was gonna make something with some cayenne pepper I got from the garden. Also use these jalapenos. I'm gonna have to do a little spicy type of dish. Right now I'm watering the strawberries. The strawberries have been growing a lot. Now they ain't been really producing lately. There was a time where I was producing weekly, but sometimes I gotta remember to go in there and start pruning some stuff. And that's just like in life. When you prune some stuff that's bad out of your life, guess what? You are going to grow. And then and what I've learned, I think I've said this before, that when you put some mulch down, it helps retain the moisture. And then a lot of times you ain't really got to fill it all the way to the brim. You just put your potting soil with some compost, manure, food scraps, and throw some mulch on top, and boom, there you go. This right here are my potatoes, and it look like they're, if I'm not mistaken, if my eyes are deceiving me, they look a little potato right there. It don't look like a little something on it. So I was told that you pretty much wait till all of the leaves die off, and then with potatoes you pretty much just gotta dump the soil and search for the potatoes. Now some people do be having stations where they do their potatoes and carrots and beets, because they grow under. Now here are my watermelon. I've been trying to get a real good harvest of watermelon for like the last 2 years, so I'm doing my best to keep these watermelon going. And so I got 2 of them. I got this one right here. I think this one's a crimson sweet. Yeah, I think this one right here is a crimson sweet. And this one might be another honeydew melon. I'm not sure. When I planted it, I made the mistake and didn't really mark it the way I needed to mark it. But we'll see in a good, maybe 60 more days. So yeah, just give all the vegetables a good watering. Give it some nutrition. I'm about to definitely come back out here later and fertilize everything, because today is Friday. Speaking of Friday, how's everybody doing today? I should have said that before flopping my gums and talking about everything in the garden. How's everybody doing today? I gotta make sure everything is watered, because it's supposed to be 91 degrees outside, and most likely it's probably gonna be like 200 inside here. So you definitely wanna do that. And also for people that are gardening or even doing stuff like this, you probably want to invest in like a solar panel type of thing to help with your electricity, because guess what, the electricity nowadays, I'm holding it in one hand. So the electricity, I mean, you plugging stuff up, guess what? It's gonna have your electricity skyrocketed. So this right here is the garden tour, and just decided to go live this morning and just to encourage y'all that, hey, do not give up. Do not give up. If you start something, keep on pushing, keep on working, and keep at it. Whether if it's from cooking, gardening, starting your business, doing anything, just stay consistent at it. Once you are staying consistent at it, you will get good at it. And once you get good at it, you will master it. But you also got to make sure that your heart is in it. Let me say that again. You got to make sure that your heart is in it. So if you're passionate about something, when you put your whole heart into it, guess what? It will be rewarding in the end. Yo, this is Cooking with DLS, and I'm out. God bless.